the best comics case show Saturday mornings, Arch City Comics. Great show, topical stuff.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is the Weekend Woke Up Call. Good morning, Comicsgate. Welcome to the Weekend Woke Up Call. I am your host, Adam AF. How are y'all doing today?
Good morning.
Fantastic.
What up?
I'm doing pretty good, man.
Good, excellent. Good to have y'all here. We've got, of course, the man, the master promoter, my co-host, Mr. Tinfoil Hat, Nick.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the show. Glad you're here.
Oh, and apparently StreamYards has decided that I'm not allowed to listen to Nick.
Really? Can you not hear me?
We hear you, Nick.
We hear you, Nick.
Okay.
I hear Nick. That's weird.
Of course.
Okay, I'm going to leave and drop out because I'm telling you, I got weird errors when I came in. I'm going to drop out and I'll.
What is happening?
I'll be.
He's going to come back in.
Error.
So apparently the chat could hear him, just not you. That's weird.
Yeah,
That's weird.
yeah, we heard him.
Is this like a takeover show? That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I mean, we are live. We are here in effect. This is great. I feel so excited to be here. This is the best time of my life. I am here exactly where I need to be right now on the Arch City Comics. I love it. This is the day. This is the year. This is the millennium. I am here right where I am supposed to be. Thank you. I am here with you, brother. Love you guys. Thank you for having us.
I don't think I've ever streamed with you, Skits.
Oh, you're in for a treat, bro. It only gets better from here.
It's better. I may have to lock him up later, so it's all good.
Adam, can you hear us now? Hello.
Is that him talking?
Hello?
He can't hear
Is
anyone.
it you I'm looking for?
Oh, my God.
We love being here with you.
This whole stream may be wrecked.
It's a wonderful warm morning. Well, it's not too warm.
No, it's
kinda
not
cold.
warm here. It's very cold.
It's a little cold, but it's a beautiful morning, and
Wow.
we're very thankful to be here today.
Hang on one second.
Hey, wait. Adam, make sure you didn't mute the tab.
Yeah, you might have muted the tab because your mute thing is showing up on the. Well, he can't hear us anyway.
No, I mean, this happened to me. I forgot that I muted the actual browser tab, not the mute button with the tab. So just right click your tab and make sure it's not muted.
Hang on, I'm having to send this to him through messages because he can't hear us. Check you didn't mute the tab. That's not how you spell it. All right, click.
We're calling the IT department, right?
Yeah, we got IT. Call the Geek Squad. They'll be right on it.
He's dropped out again. So anyway, Aaron, we've got Aaron Calamari here with us as well. How are you doing, man?
What's up, homies? I'm doing good. Thanks
Excellent.
for having me.
Yeah, man, it's been a while. I haven't talked. It's been a while since we've seen you on a stream. You always show up in the chats like Beetlejuice after your name is mentioned 3 times, but it's never. I haven't seen you on stream in a while, so it's good to see you, man. And we have Mr. Black Angus with us as well. How are you doing this morning?
I'm all right. I'm just chilling here at work, and glad Adam invited me, but it's unfortunate he's having difficulties.
Okay, we're good. We're good now.
Okay.
What was it? What was it?
Yeah, somehow the tab got muted. I have no idea.
Ha! I was right.
Fucking
Mark, you're right.
Off to a great start, though, right? Welcome.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so what are you guys talking about?
We were just welcoming everybody. We've already gone through all that.
Okay. Right, Kitty says, is your computer plugged in, Adam? Yes, it is.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
If I unplug my computer, it usually dies pretty quickly, so it's always plugged in.
Wiggle the wires.
Wires are wiggled. Well, yeah, good morning. Hail, everybody. Hail to the chat. Thank you guys for putting up with our technical difficulty. Well, my technical difficulties. I can't really blame everybody for it. Good morning to everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming from. We got Chris Evans dropping links with James Hayes. What's up? Felix Haas, Sarah, El Gargoyle, Drew, a.k.a. Mystery. Hail, it's early on the West Coast. Yes. I've been up for a while, actually. Usually I get up like a half hour before the show starts. Yeah, James Hayes says this is what happens when Adam is overrisen. Yeah. Oh, good Lord. Okay, so let's get into it, shall we? We've got some very interesting things that I've come across this week that I wanted to talk about. One, I think this will appeal to, I think, a lot of people because now, Skits, where are you guys from?
The South.
I thought so.
Yeah.
The South will rise again.
Actually, no.
We're always below. We're always at the bottom, so we can't get above the top. But we love being in the South, and we like to just keep it right about at that. You know, we're in the South, obviously because of my accent. So.
Well, this is something that is. I feel like this had to have come from the South. This is a fully automatic bow and arrow.
It's so much fun.
He laughs at himself. That's the best part.
What a hailstorm of arrows.
The hailstorm of arrows.
He's Russian, of course.
Look at this thing.
That's awesome.
I hope
I
that's
feel
made
like-
with rubber bands.
I feel like you could shoot yourself with that, though.
That's
I'm
ingenuity, though, yo.
sure
I'm sorry,
that's
but like
coming.
put a coat of paint on that. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Well,
Sell that
it
at
looks like it's
Walmart
made
for
out of
like-
wood.
You sell that in Walmart all day long for like $500.
Right there.
Yep, I'd buy it.
Yep.
I'd definitely buy that.
Oh,
No,
Theron,
man,
Theron Gale apparently knows who this is. It's Jorg is German.
German.
Nice.
That makes
That
sense too.
Looks very ineffective.
Well, that's what, because look at the kickback on it is unreal.
Like, have you ever seen the MythBusters? They did the Robin Hood test, whatever, like splitting an arrow with an arrow, and it's like arrows are very imprecise. No matter how good you can shoot them, you're never going to like land the mark twice.
That
So
thing
now you're
isn't
throwing
made
that
for
in.
accuracy, though. That's it's not anything. Anytime you put an automatic on something, you're not really going for accuracy. You're going for suppression and for the fear factor. Like if you can like bullseye stuff and do Robin Hood tricks and stuff like that with a bow and arrow, yeah, it looks fancy and you're gonna kill a few people. But when you got something like that can really lay some arrows down range, that's going to be the fear factor, and that's going to cause people to run away as soon as they see it.
Mhm.
Oh
Good
yeah,
old
if I see
archery
this guy coming at me,
101.
I'm out of there.
Well,
Are you
he's way
starting
too
to laugh like him?
excited.
That's so scary.
He's way too excited about his killing.
He is very excited about it.
You're not going anywhere.
It's so much fun. It's so much fun.
That would be a lot
It's
of
like
fun.
the count from
It's so
Sesame
much
Street.
fun.
1, 2, 3.
I think this should be a clip. That little "It's so much fun" should be a clip for like some cult gang memes.
Oh, we could make that happen.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Never underestimate the power of human ingenuity and especially German ingenuity. They
Precision.
they are a resourceful and humorless people, and so therefore everything is done correctly.
You're very precise.
Yep.
Chris Evans says Aaron is going to get one of those crossbows.
Maybe we should do that as one of our tiers.
Yeah.
Ooh, a crossbow tier.
Yeah. But the way you'd have to do it is you'd have to sell the pieces. That way, when they get it home, they have to put it together, because if you actually sell it together, I think there's probably some laws and stuff about that. But if you just sell the pieces and they got to put it together, boom, bonus.
Like
you could do it.
I was just going to say like an IKEA of weaponry.
Yeah.
We should have an IKEA tier. Like, put your own legs in it.
Build your own fully automatic crossbow. I like it. I like
that's
it. I think you'll sell
copyrighted.
quite a few.
I
Oh,
said
you're
it,
okay.
that's copyrighted. Stop
Steve
it.
Dye is awake.
Hail, Steve Dye. Good morning, brother.
Hail, Steve.
Steve's always awake. I don't know if he actually ever sleeps.
Speaking of Steve, did y'all take the it's like the Spurg test or whatever? I think Man of Sex put together.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I took it. It's funny if you select your Steve Dye, you have to just like, what are you doing here, Steve?
We should take a moment of silence, I think, for Man of Sex.
Oh wow.
He is off Twitter. He got the big suspension.
He is
appealing. Okay, but do you know the circumstance? What caused it?
It was a meme. They're using the Twitter new meme policy. They're using it against people who put out memes that hurt the feels, and so they got him on that.
Oh man,
weak.
Well,
I figured that's what it was. I haven't actually talked to him though. I just seen that his count got taken down yesterday or last night.
Sorry, we're not in the know for this. Like, what happened with the meme? What's going on? Like, if you put up a meme now, it's
If you put up a meme, according to Twitter's new rules, and these are because the election's coming up, and I'm pretty sure they'll be relaxed after November 8th. If you put up a meme that has a person in it or has something that's been changed, and it's meant to change to hurt them or in any way make them feel, I guess they put the wording unsafe or something like that, then they're going to take it down. So that's basically any meme that is, if it's a meme in political nature, they're supposed to take it down, but I haven't really seen them doing that. It's they just put that in there, and then people are cherry picking what to go after. It's basically those. When you report to Twitter, you're not reporting to a person; you're reporting to an AI.
Right.
And then that bot will go in and, based on the flagging count, will get either taken down or put back up, and it'll be based on that. And so it's just mass false flagging and stuff like that by people who can't stand to have any kind of criticism, shade, anything like that thrown their way, because they're small, spineless people.
or hey, how about just don't look at it? Or how about
move on
just-
scrolling.
Yeah.
Right.
No, wait a minute. You're talking with like sense
and
Oh, I'm a female. Sensibilities. What?
You know what this brings to mind? I don't know if you saw that clip of Mr. Aloha. Everyone he's like threatening, like, "Oh yeah, I'm going to go after you with Canadian law," because it's stricter, because it's more SJW with these things than American law.
I did see that clip, but I was trying to find the full video. And apparently Edwin always wears the same blue shirt when he goes out on his walking videos. So I wasn't going to sit through all of his walking videos to figure out which one that came from. But yeah, he wants to go after Roe. He's already contacted the Honolulu Police Department, and now he wants to he's going to contact the Canadian Police Department.
somewhere in Canada, the police are laughing because calling somebody a name on the internet is not an international crime, no matter how bruised and hurt that ego may be. That's just not going to happen. So it's just another empty threat by a sad person.
Sad.
Just think what it's like to go to the cops and you're like, yeah, these people are calling me Methwin, and then you have to explain, my name's Edwin, I act like I'm on meth butt to these people, so then they called me this name, and I want them prosecuted.
I'd be like, sir, could you please urinate in this cup for me?
No, that's what I was like, imagine being the cops having to like not laugh in the dude's face. I mean, because that would be my first instinct. If someone came in and told me that story, I would have to leave the room to go laugh somewhere because that would be, that would be my first reaction because that's a funny story. And so, it's just ridiculous. This is political, like PC crap being used against people all because of hurt feels. And we're all supposed to be grown-ups here. And again, if you don't like it, just scroll on. Just keep going.
Scroll on.
Yeah. I mean, carry on our wayward son. There'll be peace when you are done. Kansas had it right back in the 70s.
Yeah,
it's trucking.
So you go to the cops, like, what are the charges? Threatening use of a dildo image, like.
It's harassment. I want harassment charges. Was it in the face or was it
on the picture?
Oh, okay. I mean, if it was,
it's typical internet YouTube tomfoolery, and they're upset about it because people have egos, and people sometimes their egos can't handle any kind of criticism or being made fun of because they think that they are more important than they actually are.
Well, I think I actually said this on your show before, Nick, where as soon as you actually get memes about you, that's when you know that you've made it. It's like when people start making memes about us, we'll be like, "Whoa, we made it!"
And see, that's the difference between I would say a proper mindset when it comes to memes and things like that, and then the irrational "I'm 5 and I'm going to pitch a fit" every time someone makes a meme.
You're just a meme.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at some point in time, that spine was shattered and turned into jello, or the balls just fell off. I mean, that's pretty much all I can come up with when it comes to those kind of things. Because I believe that if you say something and you do something stupid, I should be able to tell you about it, remind you of it, and that kind of stuff. And you should be able to do it to me if I do the same thing. That's how free speech works in my book. And, if you're going to just make it a one-way street or use really silly laws to get some kind of vengeance or get rich quick or try to hurt somebody else or get the kids taken away because you don't like something they said or something like that, you're just, to me, in my view, in my opinion, you are just scum. And, we usually clean scum away with some sort of spray or so wipe it. So,
Here's the thought. It's just the internet.
It is.
I mean, it
is just the internet.
Live the real life. Go shopping. Do your thing.
Go be with your family for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
I mean, Christ.
Okay.
But see, they can't draw the distinction between the internet and reality. It seems like, because there is their internet persona where they say they're trying to, make money, run a business, all this other stuff. You can still sell stuff online and not be on social media in the capacity that they are. If you're wanting to just sell books and make money, then get off the social media drama part of it and just go on social media to sell stuff.
Exactly.
that is
Edwin doesn't have anything to sell.
Right. And so he's got to push the hate all he can because that's all his relevancy. That's all he's good for. Once that's gone, he's out. But it's just, I don't know. It's a lot of this is extremely petty in my opinion. And he's just, they're just being just stereotypical whiny babies that really make the internet a lot less fun. Like when you're trying to police somebody's behavior on the internet, that's like trying to plug a dam leak with your pinky. You know what I'm saying? You're just wasting your time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and if you actually stand up and try and do something about it, you kind of come off looking a little weird, and then just more people start piling on. You know, they're like, "Oh, we got a reaction." Bah, 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 bah.
Yeah,
So,
it's like the Streisand effect. You're just bringing more attention to it.
Babs effect.
Yeah. Ryan Magus, Hail Brother, says Delta Spurgs docks that blue shirt. Talking about Methwin's blue shirt. Yes, docks the blue shirt. Simon says he's going after Canadians now. Is that why Simon isn't here? Has he went into hiding? Simon has finally went to bed. Honestly, that is why Sim is not joining us this morning. He was up all night working hard. Literally, he sent me a message at I want to say like 6:30 my time, so 7:30 his time. Just say he was like, dude, I'm spent. I'm not gonna make it. I was like, that's fine, man. Get some rest. He only ever takes naps anyway. He takes like 2-3 hour naps a day. That's how Sim works.
He was working on something awesome.
Yes, we will talk a
send
little bit
out
about
our prayers to Simon because I know a family tragedy happened, so we want to let him know personally we're praying for him as well. So.
Oh well, I'm sure he appreciates that. Thank you very much. Yeah. Riot Kitty says someone in the UK called the police over misgendering and they showed up. So now anything can happen. Well, isn't that something? I wish I would have found that news story for today.
I'm in Michigan. You can't even get the cops to show up for murders.
Oh wait, it's in the AM. Oh, Adam, you misgendered me.
Did I?
Yeah, the other day. Last week.
Oh, I did.
Yes,
oh,
you
that's
did.
right. Cancel me.
Hello.
Cancel Art City Comics. Well, I'd never seen your persona before. I had no idea who Black Star was. I mean, I knew who you were, but I had no idea that was your other.
I appreciate Nick has said, no, that's Skid Swag. And you're like, oh, my bad. And
Oh,
I was like,
Yeah, women always remember now.
Oh yes.
Mine's
oh,
like
I know.
a steel trap when it comes to some things, and like sponge when it comes to others, isn't it's just porous. It goes right
no, but I thought it was flattery. I was like, oh, I'm being talked about. Thank you so much. Am I guy, girl? Whatever. Thanks. So,
Yeah, it's just like memes. It's like, I mean, people are just talking about you. There's no bad press. There's only press. You know, it's worse if they're not talking about you at all. So good, bad, hey, you take it.
Yeah. As the late Dale Earnhardt Sr. would say, if they're doesn't matter if they're talking good or bad about you, as long as they are talking about you.
That's
you can be infamous or you can be famous. Doesn't matter.
Yep.
That's a good point. Mm-hmm. Well, Black Star, since you are a black woman, I found this week on the Twitters, and I wanted your honest opinion on this.
Okay.
So let's pull up this sweet video clip here.
Like I'm being set up.
Yep.
Oh, this one here.
Excuse me. If y'all didn't know, this is the MSC, and frankly, there's just too many white people in here, and this is people of color. So just be really cognizant of the space that you're taking up, because it does make some of us POCs uncomfortable when we see too many.
Now, okay. Now you are a POC filled with a room of cis white men.
Wait, am I? I've got Thomas Jefferson's blood rolling in me, so
Yeah,
I got some Irish and some English, so I got some. So yeah, I saw this clip, and let me just be honest with you. So I'm gonna give you my little my thought pieces on that.
Please.
So here are the two thoughts going through my head. I don't know what the real situation is here. Okay, I don't know what college or I don't know what university that they're studying in. And I have to be honest, when I was in a lot of colleges and universities back in my heyday, there were not a lot of places where POCs can congregate and just discuss things or be around things because the university was inundated with everyone else. Now, if you're going to a place of higher learning, that's just a given. You're going to see people of different races, colors, creeds, everything. So you can't just stay in your small bubble and expect everyone to not penetrate your bubble and be like, hey, excuse me, can I touch your hair? Can I do this? So again, I don't know that situation as far as where they are. They do have to know that they are in a college environment. However, if there was a designated all Black person club and someone tried to infiltrate to come in to cause some trouble just to put it out there on social media, then I have cause for concern. It's like trying to come into a Black sorority or Black fraternity and say, hey, I'm your friend, and then you start filming and you film what's going on there and then you put it out in the world and then everybody comes at that specific Black fraternity or Black sorority. So I don't know if that's a setup. I don't know if it's just to get a rise out of people, but I do feel like if you're at an institution of higher learning, there's going to be places where you're going to see different people, different spots, and you're just going to have to deal with it. So that is my honest opinion about it.
Yeah, because she says, let's see, where is...
Wait, I forgot to go.
Many white, and frankly, there's just, if y'all didn't know, this is the MSC.
The MSC. I'm not sure what. Does anybody know what the MS or what an MSC is?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, you don't know the context. That's the hardest part, But yeah. I mean, you can't just call people out,
Yeah.
So.
And frankly, there's just too many white people in here, and this is a space for people of color. So just be really cognizant of the space that you're taking up, because it does make some of us POCs uncomfortable when we see too many white people in here. It's only been open.
Now, okay. Pause it for a minute. Like, define people of color. Like, seriously, like if someone says I have olive skin, are you considered a person of color? Or I've got, Indian descent, are you a person of color? Are you Northern Irish because you're a little bit lighter skinned? Are you a person of color? Like what?
I mean, we are all persons of color.
Exactly. So, I mean, but what we see in this video is defined as an African-American woman and not anybody else. Like, I don't see anyone of Asian descent. I don't see anyone of Samoans. I don't see any, you know what I mean? Like, I don't see them in there. So is it just people of color with darker skin, people of color with longer hair, with some weaves, some track? What is the POC? Is it someone that I have red hair? What is going on? Yes, Multicultural Learning Center. Okay.
Well, that would mean all cultures, wouldn't it? I mean,
yeah.
Well,
I mean, it's in the title.
Yeah.
White isn't a culture; it's an oppression.
Thank you, Black Angus.
See, this is the stuff. Like, this is the stuff that they pushed on. That they try to push on me all the time because I'm Southern. Like the whole white guilt thing, and I'm like, you're barking up the wrong tree. There's no way that I can be made to feel sorry for something that happened 160 years ago, or that something that happened 60 years ago. I wasn't even born. It's just
still your fault.
Nope, no, it's not. I refuse. It's one of those things where it's like, people made bad choices and made bad decisions. Slavery was incredibly wrong and it should have never been done. And it's a pox on all of our houses that it is still going on in the world today.
There's actually,
I didn't have anything to do with it.
Side note right there is there's more slaves in the world today than there ever was in the entire history of the East India Trading Company. And they're not POs. Well, I mean, there are some, they're of all colors. It's mostly children, unfortunately, sold into sex slavery. So it's worse now than it ever was. But I just wanted to interject that little note there, Nick. I'm sorry.
But like I said, I don't know the. It's one thing when you do reaction videos. I mean, it seems like someone just like in their chair, they're doing like a little filming. Okay, she's saying something good right now. I'm going to record it to just have a reaction video. Granted, what she says, I'm not condoning or saying anything's wrong, but I'm just saying like it's like a reaction video. So it's like, okay, well, what do you want me to say about it? Like she said her little piece, move on. Like, okay, so either get up or don't get up. Like if you feel like this is a space for you, then sit your butt down. That's a space for you. If you don't feel comfortable, then get on up, get your own little, then whatever. But I think she did what she did, and she said her little piece. She got her little clap-ons, and that's fine. But like
her little clap-ons.
It's like, it's like moving on. Next day is someone else on another, part of the Carlos camp's going to say, I have trouble because you're eating Cheez-Its versus Cheetos, like whatever. It's like, get your little clap on and then move on. Like if you can't be grown-ups in a college environment, then you don't need to be there. You really don't need to be there. So.
Yeah, I kind of have a different perspective on like, I'm half black and I was in the military, so I think that gives me an interesting perspective because I see like black colleges. There used to be a need for it because it's like, well, you're not welcome here. So smart black people got together and like, hey, let's make something for ourselves since, and now it's like any race not white has incentives to go to school. They get a boost potentially just because of their race. Different groups and stuff that'll fund you and whatnot. I find it kind of racist that this is still there. Because if you had a white student body organization, think how pissed off, how much would be in the world if there's a student body that's like, hey, let's celebrate white culture. That would just be called race, called clan. But if you segregate off of you're black, you're Indian, you're Asian, you're Native American, whatever, that's okay for some reason. I thought college especially was supposed to be this like breeding ground of exposure to different identities and stuff, and now it's just isolating back into segregation.
Yeah,
so I hate all of this multicultural, ethnic, whatever stuff because it's not actually embracing various identities and learning from it. It's isolationist off of arbitrary identities.
Hello. Did I get a clap on? Or did he just move?
I think he's doing stuff. So he said his piece.
I said my piece. I got a truck coming in the yard. I work security on the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. But I said my piece right before he pulled up.
I was giving you a clap on. I was like, got your little clap on.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't understand is the reverse segregation that's going on these days. That I thought that I've always looked at that as like way too many people died to get us to the point to where there was no more segregation and Jim Crow was put down and everything like that. Now you're just now you're voluntarily going back under that system to be different, edgier, whatever. All you're doing is spitting in and slapping those people in the face who died to get to this point. It really, I mean, it just, I don't understand it. It's probably my age. So most of this stuff is just so stupid that I don't even really give it. Like I give it thought, but I don't really understand it because whatever. It's just like it's like trying to explain astrophysics to somebody who is terrible at math. Like I'm bad at math. So if you were to sit and try to talk to me about astrophysics or physics or anything like that that involves high math and high numbers and stuff, I'm just going to glaze over and just, zombie out for a little while. I'll listen to you. I'll nod. I'll smile politely and everything. I'm Southern. That's what we do. But as soon as you're done talking, I'm looking for the first door out.
Well, the thing, it's a slippery slope. And because Adam called me, I was being the black female of the group. It is a slippery slope because I can go through experiences all day. I don't want to overtake your show, but the slippery slope is this. Yes, let's have a team up and let's all come together and let's blend and let's do some things. However, there are some, and you must admit, there are some differences that if an African American female goes to a predominantly white college, she has nothing to talk about as far as hair, as far as dating, as far as anything that pertains to her, because she is isolated. It is a slippery slope, because as much as the young woman wants to fit in with peers that don't look like her, that don't talk like her, that didn't grow up like her, it's hard for her to identify herself unless there's another group with her that she can say, yes, let's talk about some hair gels, let's talk about some ponytails, let's talk about this, that this culture will not be able to understand about having kinks and curls and, oh my God, or trying to date someone that doesn't look like them, and there's not a vast field for that. So there is a space for that, and I do believe there is a something good that does come out of that, because you become stronger, you become, yes, we can talk about this, and like basically have a friend to talk to. However, you do want to blend in, and you do want to join forces and, do your best Avenger team up and assemble in all the classes. But there are some things on college campuses that other cultures just won't get because they didn't grow up that way. And if they're isolated, I can see the need to form a multicultural learning center, or I can see the need to form a group or a club that only inhabits people of that culture or that race, because there's things that, hey, I want to learn about making, some Greek food, but I'm not Greek, so I don't know the ingredients. I need someone to help me, instead of me just thinking, oh, I know what it's all about. And it's like, no, you actually don't. You know what I mean? There's some things there.
That's a fine point. I don't see it being wrong to have, necessarily segregated groups like you're saying, but you have to be able to allow other people into those groups who want to learn more about it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like as a white person, if I want to learn more about Indian culture and heritage, that I should be allowed to sit in on said group, because I want to learn more about it.
Yes, I agree with that.
I don't think you should be able to say like, okay, all right, we got 5 white people in here. Y'all need to leave because you're too white and it's making me uncomfortable.
Just so you know, it's like, since we've been married, I have learned so much about black hair. Like,
I'm sure.
I mean, it is like way up yonder somewhere. It's like me, white people, we wake up, we do this, and we walk out the door. And it's like, I hear about hair every day. It's like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. When we have kids, you're going to have to do this. I'm just sitting here with a glaze over my eyes. It's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like,
nod and smile.
I have very naturally curly hair, like little ringlets, like to the point where I can fro if I pick my hair out and I grow it long enough, it will be a fro. I got white boy Jufro. It's okay. I know how to hold them and I know how to fold them. But it's one of those things that I can relate to this. I know that hatred that when you look in the mirror in the morning and you see this massiveness that is there, and it puts hate in your heart, and you're just like, oh, dude, because it's like it's going to be a 45-minute struggle. That you're going to come out on the other side a little bit stronger of a person, but at the same time, your soul will be crushed to touch.
And I will welcome you to my group, Nick. I will give you some hair care products. You know what I mean? But there's got to be a place. However, like what Adam was saying, yes, invite you in, and I would, accept you in there. But there's first got to be that place where you have to find out about it. Mm-hmm. It's not just coming out of nowhere. So within that, that's why I'm saying it's a slippery slope. It's a place where there was a group formulated by, said culture to talk about, hair and hair products, and then you just found out about it. So then, yes, we welcome you, but there's got to have been some incentive to even form the group in the first place.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not saying that they shouldn't have the groups and stuff like that. I'm just saying that in this particular instance, with it being a multicultural learning center. There we go. Whatever learning center. It
It's a tongue
should
twister.
be a open forum for everyone, and for this young lady who obviously has some other issues when it comes to white folks or anybody else who she doesn't deem to be the right people to be in there, to cause her to have this kind of feeling, or she's just massively virtue signaling to make herself feel better.
Right.
And I have a huge problem with that, because like when I was in college, I was in the fraternity system, and that is every on every college campus. That is such a huge rallying point for people who are like, you have the class, the elitists versus these people.
Yep.
It's like a never-ending episode, or a never-ending scene in PCU, where you're just constantly protesting for everything. And the funny thing is that in my particular fraternity, we had fantastic relations with all the black fraternities on campus. We would go, they would do step shows for us. We would go to their step shows. They would come to our concerts. They would come to our parties. We just had a good time together. And that's what it was all about. And it wasn't
I'm in a
like
black sorority, so the National Panhellenic Society, and so and I agree with you. That is something that we enjoyed. I mean, we were doing our step teams, doing our step dances and stuff like that. But the one thing I want to do before I get off this subject, because I'm just looking at her hair and I think it should just be done. I think that, she's in college. There's a lot to grow up and a lot to do. So I don't fault people all the time, because I'm like, you know what? I want to see her 4 years from now. I want to see her when she graduates and see how she turned around, because right now she's in a place of higher learning, and that's what we're doing. We're coming there to learn about stuff, regardless of whatever your feelings are at this moment in her time. Maybe someone will talk to her. So maybe she'll turn around. Maybe she'll be in a life situation where she's like, you know what? I was stupid in college. That was a stupid thing. So I don't want to fault her now, when that's where she needs to be. She needs to learn, and then she needs to grow up, and she needs to move out, because in the real world, baby, let me tell you, she cannot go around like that, and I want to see her marry a cute little white boy with ginger red hair, and I want to see them little kids turn out. Then I want to say, you see what happened?
See, I think that about a lot of these people that I see. Like, I pray deeply in my heart that they look back at themselves in 5-10 years and go, oh my God, like, what was I doing? What was I thinking saying this kind of crap? I really hope that there is a turnaround, and this isn't something that we just end up on. I want this weird SJW shit to be just a footnote in the history books that we all laugh at eventually. But something tells me that it's not gonna be.
There's always times, things come, things go. We're just in one of those places, where you get that rubber band effect. It's like way out here, and it just needs to snap back.
Yeah.
That's all there is. It'll snap back. I mean, anyone who reads history, I got a minor degree in history. That things just kind of come and go, and things will just snap back. That's just the way it is.
Yeah. To build off that, have y'all watched Mad Men?
Mm-hmm.
No, actually.
That's just it's an awesome show. Caesar actually got me into it. I finally watched it because of his thumbs up approval, and something you can take away from it. For one, I think that's probably the last great era of America, like where we were self-sufficient. But also you see it's a fiction, but it's like a historical fiction. You see the decade of the 60s, and it ends up like 70 or 71. And what you see is like all the radicalization, the polar divide of the country and stuff. At the end of the day, it kind of went away. It was some growing pain, I think it was a big product of not social media, they didn't have it back then, but the TV exposure of like war and stuff, where 24-hour news wasn't happening yet, but you had like Walter Cronkite and other reporters in Vietnam. You had the famous picture of like the assassination in the streets, I think Ho Chi Minh, so it was just like, it was an information era that was like exploding, and it took a while for everyone to like calm down. Now you got social media, you got us well, my generation at least, that came up with like MySpace and then Facebook in like high school, middle school or high school, and now like we're adults and we're going to college where everyone's already done the articles, you know, so you have to like find nuance and stuff. So it's just it'll calm down eventually. You're seeing it with people hitting back, like Todd Phillips saying little things about the culture today, with Ricky Gervais opening at the awards show and stuff. So we're finally getting, you know, people with prominence kind of hitting back at this. Joaquin Phoenix with his speech, where he's kind of an SJW, but he's like, I'm not that crazy, you know. Let's not just cancel people. So
there's definitely a fine line, I think, to walk, and hopefully we're finding that line and walking the correct side of it. But let's take a little bit of break and talk about something a little bit more lighthearted. Aaron, are you still awake?
Oh yeah.
You said you had a big announcement that involved Sim.
Yeah. So with Cybershock, we always had a completion date for as far as a ship date of March this year, and I've been trying to hold to that, and I just got the last colored page in from Sim today, and that means other than just a few little things here and there to readjust as far as our lettering and stuff, the Cybershock is complete.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fantastic.
And we still have to put the print file together and everything and send it off, get it printed. But right now we're in the middle of February, so things are looking good as far as being able to meet our ship date of March. So we'll see how that goes, but so far things are looking really good, and I'm hoping to be able to keep that original promise that I had, and I'm really happy with the way the books turned out. It's looking really nice.
Congratulations, Aaron. That's awesome. You and Sim are a power team. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Yeah, Sim's coloring on these pages is damn good. It works really well with Zoo's inks, I think.
Yeah.
And we seem to get you some more eyes on it over this past week a little bit. I know went up maybe 1 or 2 backers.
Yeah, I got a 2-pack backer, and someone bought one of Sim's sketch cards. There's still 2 more Sim sketch cards available on the campaign. And for people who don't know, sketch cards are original art, so they're one of a kind.
Yeah, and $25 for a sketch card is a really good deal, especially a Sim sketch card. And as you can see in the little preview boxes, they look fantastic. I mean,
Nice.
as all of Sim's artwork does.
Yep.
But I think he really captured Siren's essence in these cards.
That is awesome. I bet that's a big weight off your shoulder. Like it's a moment, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh, finally. Like, and he kind of surprised me because he had about 4 pages left to color just like yesterday or something. And so I was like, oh, it'll probably be another week or so, and then he'll have it finished. And he's like, oh, got the last page done.
That is awesome. I know we were speaking with him on Vinny Tartamella's show, and we asked him a question. I said, do you guys ever get, he goes, yes, nervous? Since the day you pushed that we're going live, he goes, it's just like, So
it's a
the
nerve-wracking
countdown
experience.
begins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's something that we're trying to get ready for. And
we're running the road all the way down to the end, right to that point, and we're hoping that when we get there, it doesn't, grab your chest too much, because then the nervous part's in, and then you got to kind of ramp it up and start talking to people even more than you normally do. And we haven't got there yet, but I feel it coming.
Yeah, prepare yourselves because there's very little that compares to hitting that live button, and then all your emotions are suddenly in your throat. You're like, oh my god, I hope to God this book makes its goal.
You're like, woosah, woosah.
Yeah, funny thing with Cybershock is I went live with it, and within like 10 minutes or something, I had a backer. And
Nice.
I was like psyched. But then it was like 5 more days before I got anyone else. So it's been an interesting ride, but we're all really proud of it.
Good.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Any advice for us aside from getting prepared?
Yeah, like make sure you're prepared because like we had been working on it for a year already before we went live. Me and Zoo had been, and I thought we were like way ahead of schedule, and now we're coming down to the wire to where like I was glad that I set it for March. I thought I set it like a couple months ahead of where we were going to be, but really I didn't realize how much more work was going to go into the coloring aspect. And so we ran into some interesting issues with that because I was like, we were going to originally have Zoo color it too, but then I was like, oh, it's going to be a whole nother year before this book comes out. So I went to Sim and I was like begging him. I was like, color this book, please.
Yeah, everyone we've actually spoken to, they say whatever your time schedule is, you triple it. And that's kind of what we've heard from a bunch of people.
Yeah.
You definitely,
sure.
Being new creators on the scene, you definitely want to overshoot your shipping. So then if you do get the book done and ready to go beforehand and you ship early, then it's a happy surprise for backers. They're like, oh, wow, I got my book a month or 2 months early. That's a lot better than your backers going, this book's 2 months late. What happened here?
Yep.
Especially for first time creators anyway.
We had our script completed a long time ago. I wrote the whole thing.
Oh, nice.
And I had the script completed long ago, and this was going to be a 24-page book, and then we realized we needed 4 more pages, so I advertised it as a 24-page book originally, but adding 4 more pages doesn't seem like a lot, but when the art takes a while to draw and color and all that can really add on. So if there's any chance that your book's going to be longer, that can make a big difference in your completion date.
Cool. Thank you for that. Yeah. And thanks to James, we see in the chat, like he put up our Indiegogo page. Thank you so much with the clown. Skits the clown. We're shooting for what, 60 to 70?
Yeah, 60 to 70 pages for ours. Yeah.
Oh, so it's going to be a good chunk of book.
Yeah, we're doing the final editing on the script and stuff. It's hard to tell exactly how many pages because, you're doing your edits and everything before you actually get it all down. But it'll be in the 60 to 70 page range, yeah.
That's awesome.
Sarah has a question. Is it gray or light purple background? Sorry, I have poor eyesight.
It's purple. We actually went through 3 different versions of this. And we let the fans decide because there was a version that was more gray, like more gray earthy tones at dusk, and and then Zoo was like, "Hey, do you want to see the purple one?" And I was just kind of laughing, and I was like, "Sure." And then I started showing everyone the 3 different ones, and everyone's like, "Well, I like the purple one," and I was like, oh shit, okay, I guess we're doing the purple one.
Give them what they want, man.
I would say you got to give the customers what they want. That's what it's all about. Dillard Draws, Hail Dillard, says, what's Cybershock about?
Cybershock is a story about a female Black Ops agent that finds out the company she works for is developing mind control software to control their agents. And she's not down with that. She doesn't want to get mind controlled. So she busts into the research facility, steals the software, and takes off with it. Tries to escape the base, and so they send a bounty hunter after her, and then they get into a conflict that you can see the fight on some of the fight on the page here, and then it just kind of is a roller coaster ride from there to where you learn who's on whose side and why they're on whose side, and there's some different, they kind of switch factions a couple times, switch sides, and it has a twist ending too. So it's mostly just an excuse to have an action fighting scene. You know, like the whole book is just chasing and fighting, and there's a story to it, and it goes along and it all makes sense, but all my comics are just people killing each other pretty much.
That's awesome. That's what sells.
Yeah, man. Action adventure, man. You got to have it out there and put it in people's face. You know, always be right out there and get them, you know, right up in people's face. That's the best thing to do. Hit them first and hit them hard.
And Aaron's not lying. I edited the script, and it's just nonstop. I mean, page after page is just nothing but excitement and fight scenes and chase scenes and action, great. And it's cool. It's a great story.
That's great.
I want to see this book. I want to see it hit that 100 backer mark. I can't believe that it's only sitting at 76 backers right now. I think 100 backers is where this book at least needs to be, because Aaron, you said what, shipping in March, so you're going to close the in-demand store down soon.
Yeah, like I wanted to get these sketch cards all sold, but they're kind of slow going. You know, I got some other guys doing sketch cards too that we might sell if we can get there. But yeah, like I don't know if I should. I've been telling people I'm closing it down at March 1st. After I go to print, or if I should close it March 1st, like I said.
Well, that's kind of a talk. I've noticed that with a lot of these campaigns, you know, Vinny especially. You look at Captain Love also by Drew Eash. You know, they've left the books, they left the store open, and they've got a steady stream of backers afterwards, because, you know, once people actually see that these books are going out, you know, people do their reviews, they tweet about it on Twitter, they make the short videos, you know, on YouTube. It just helps generate more buzz. So it honestly can really only help you to keep it open really as long as you can.
Yeah.
And on the other side of that coin, you have to be ready to, after the initial print run is done, you have to be ready to have those other ones print really quick. Because once you've had the first fulfillment done, you need to have those other ones ready. So like either overprint a little, or just like say to your printer, yo, there's probably going to be more coming, so just be ready.
Yeah, that's great. That's good. Good advice.
Dillard's is the twist ending. She mind controls herself. No spoilers, Dillard. No spoilers here. You'll just have to back it and find out for yourself.
Yeah, I've been loving on my show, Come Get Some, doing a lot of reviews for a lot of the indie artists out there, and it's a good feeling when, like we mentioned before, like we're new, you know, we're saying hi to everybody, but you know, we're saying, hey, we've actually backed a lot of these campaigns, and when we actually finally get them in our hands, it's like, oh my gosh, we saw this like on this platform, and we were thinking about it, you know, we didn't, you know, we let it go, and then it finally came, and now we can actually show people like, this is what we have, and this is like really good, and like actually look at the colors, smell the book, you know, all that good stuff. So we're really excited to get our hands on all the indie comics right now, like direct, and that's like a really good feeling too.
I'm so far behind on my reviews. I
am too. I've been slacking really hard on doing my reviews.
I've got like 6 or 7 books that I still have to review. It's kind of, well, it's just like finding time in the day, because like
that's how I am.
I have a job, and so I have to go and do that, because then they don't, and I mean, I don't have to, but then they won't pay me, and that's kind of
Then you can't back more books.
Yeah, that's kind of a problem for me. So it's like gotta, I do the promotional stuff in the morning, and then I go and work, and then I have to go do school run, get the kid, do the homework, get all that put together. Then 8 or 9 o'clock rolls around, and unless I'm modding War Campaign or something like that, I'm like, I gotta go to bed because it's just, I get up at like 4:30 or 5 o'clock every morning. So the body, I can only take so much. Unlike some other people, I have to have sleep, or I turn into a unfriendly person in a very, very bad way.
That's this guy right here.
You turn.
Yeah, pretty much. I start speaking in dinosaur, and I acknowledge people with grunts and shockingly unfriendly looks and stuff like that. So it's just.
And then you got to get your hair done. Oh no, Nick! Oh, no.
No, I shave. Honestly, I shave my head, so it just makes it so much simpler. So because
now I know why you shave your head.
Yeah, because I mean it's a monster. It is a. Some men complain about going bald. I'm actually looking forward to it. That way I don't have to deal with it anymore.
You need to carry some Snickers bars around with you. You'll be all right.
No, that doesn't work with me, man. Because I can be like, if I'm hangry, that's one kind of mad. If I'm tired, that's a totally different kind of mad. It's like when best way I can describe it. It's like when you drink coffee every day. If you drink coffee every day, or if you drink some kind of caffeinated beverage every day, and then you don't have it for a day, and like that next day is just like
brutal.
Everything is like someone looks at you the wrong way, and you're going to go make that person cry. That's just the way that it is. And so it's like I have to have that sleep, or it can. Plus, if I don't have the sleep, then that can really mess with my PTSD and stuff like that. And so got to have that sleep. It's muy importante to me. So that's what, but going back to it, like there's just not enough time in the day. And some of these books are like relatively long. And so I've got I've still got to do Grim Reaper. I've got to do Earthbound. I've got to do Caius. I've got to do Heroes from Nearville. What else? Captain Love, and about 5 or 6 others. It's just,
we appreciate you. We appreciate you.
Oh, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Y'all are great. I'm gonna have to sit down and just do a day where it's just nothing. But I did it back in December, where I just did 5 or 6 books, one right after the other. And I think that's what I'm gonna have to do again just to get caught back up.
That's probably gonna be my my Monday, because I'm off work for the government holiday. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna do 5 or 6 review videos, and then just kind of post them throughout the week.
Nice.
There you go.
James Hayes in the chat brings up something that I brought up on Twitter yesterday. I think it was. We need to help Aaron learn to make the CG show rounds to get some more attention. See, Aaron's a family man, and he works himself mostly nights when everybody's doing their shows. So it's kind of hard for him to get on, with Wenger and Gaze and Graded Point 5 and Mandy and all the other people who promote books, because he's at work making money so he can make books.
Well, Art does his show during the day. You might be able to get on Art's show at some point during the day. You could try.
Yeah, Art T. Bear that'd be one to hit up.
Yeah, he does a lot of stuff during the day.
We'll put you on. We're trying out Come Get Some Live, so we'll put you on. I don't care.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, come holler at us on Twitter, man. We'll talk to you.
There you go, Aaron. Cool. There's 2 options for you at least.
Yeah. I like the idea of Come Get Some Live. That's
Come get some live.
But I mean, this is one of those books too that this is a steal for a CG book. 28-page book for $15. You get a 2-pack for $25, and that comes with Vic King sketch card, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's not listed on anything on the page, but all the 2-packs come with a random Vic King sketch card.
Nice.
So basically, you get 2 books at a discount and a free original sketch card. You're not going to beat that or find that anywhere else on any CG Indiegogo right now. So I would definitely recommend backing that $25 tier. Get your money's worth. Get 2 good book. Well, you get 1 book, 2 copies, 1 to save, cherish, give to a friend, whatever, and a free sketch card.
John Diller said you can come on his show as well. He does daytime shows. So just hit him up.
Oh,
He said it in the chat. Yeah.
See, look at that. You're already getting offers.
There you go.
Sweet.
Sweet. So it sounds like you got a busy week next week then, Aaron.
Yeah.
Yeah, if everybody's listening, make sure you spread the word around and get some more eyes on Cybershock, because it is a shame that this book has not broke 100 backers yet, and I want to see it break 100 backers before March for sure. You know, whether or not you decide to keep the campaign open or not. I want to see it hit 100 backers.
The book's awesome, guys. So like, yeah, just check it out on the page. The book's awesome. We got all the lettering's done. We just gotta like make sure we move some of it off the margins so that we don't cut it off or anything. But yeah, I'm super excited about it. And actually, Adam, if you refresh the page, I think I just got a contribution.
Yes, sir. Up to 77 backers.
Got that refresh?
Hell yeah! Thank you to whoever just backed this book.
That was Rotten Glory who just did it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, sweet. Awesome, Rot.
Oh,
We
thank
like
you.
Rot. Rot always comes on our show. We like that person.
thank
It's
you.
good.
Yeah.
Good deal.
Thank you, Rot.
Yeah, we certainly appreciate that. I always
Thank
love it.
you
If I
and
can
Rot.
if I can get one person to back a book on stream, I feel like I've done at least
Yeah,
some
dude,
good.
that's sick.
You did. Good job. Thank you.
Adam,
let's-
can we make my other announcement, or do you want to not do that?
No, absolutely. Go ahead, you keep talking, and I'll switch the screen up a bit. Black Angus said
Alright.
he'd be right back. He's having some technical difficulties.
All right. So Cybershock's awesome, and I'm super committed to it, and everyone's gonna love it. It's a badass comic, but I got something else coming next that's gonna be fucking sick.
Oh.
And this book is called Carbon, and this is our main character right here. The artist is Ted Lehman.
Who he was in the chat a little bit ago. I don't know if he's still creeping around.
Yep, the artist for this book is Ted Lehman. I'm the writer, and the colorist is Farah Nurmaliza from.
Well, she did She did Door Kickers, and she's doing the colors on Super Harem.
Yep. She's from either Indonesia or Malaysia, I think.
Nice.
She's from the land of beautiful colors.
There you go. Pimp it.
And so this book, Carbon, is about this woman who is her and her wolf cub are the only known living carbon life forms left on Earth. And the rest of the Earth is full of machines and AI. And she has to fight her way off of Earth so that she can get to a safe place that has nutrients and ways to live.
Sweet.
So this is a science fiction action story, just like almost all my stuff.
And it's got a hot female lead.
Yep, it's got
starting to see a trend
an
here.
awesome,
Aaron.
awesome girls with guns, and yeah. So this book is gonna be my next book after Cybershock. After Cybershock ships out to customers, this is the book that's coming next, and it's gonna be a 48-page full-color graphic novel.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Girls.
So you're planning on? Are you going to do this pretty much? Are you going to launch this like pretty much immediately after, you know, people get their Cybershocks in hand, or are you going to take a little break in between?
Right now, I'm gonna see where we're at. I want to make sure we have what we need for the campaign to look good. Make sure we're where we need to be as far as all of us on the same page with our scheduling. My plan is to launch it pretty soon after I ship out Cybershock. Because I'm psyched. So
the hype is real. Rod also says, my channel is still small but growing, and I'd be down to work with your schedule, Aaron. I'm having Grayscale on Monday and the Mighty Narwhal this Wednesday. Hit me up on Twitter at Rot10G.
Hell yeah, man. I'll come on. That'd be sweet. Thank you.
Awesome. See, I love that about CG is they're almost like everybody's waiting for their turn to help, you know, in whatever little way it might be. You know, no matter how big or small your channel is, there's always people out there that are like, I'll work around your schedule. I'll help you out. I'd love to help you out. So it sets us apart from just indie comics.
Cool. It's awesome.
Nice.
That is awesome. So, Skits. What the hell is Skits?
Well, Skits is a book about a guy who can't tell the difference between his dreams and reality. That's the elevator pitch, plain and simple. Now, if you want to go a little more into it, we can talk about actually where the story comes from. It basically comes from me as about 20 years ago when I was working at a TV station. I was working the graveyard shift from midnight to 8 a.m. And I really had this problem with sleeping, obviously. You know, it's like you go through your days, through your nights, and everything just kind of gets all mixed up. So what I ended up having was these dreams, these sequential dreams for a couple months where I was this character called Skits in a straitjacket, and I just had them every day. I was having these dreams, and I wrote them down, I documented them, and I've been working on it for about 20 years, and I just figured now's the time to put it out. It's the right place, the right time. There's a lot of really good stuff going on Indiegogo. The right community is finally here, and hopefully we can get everyone out there to, you know, support us and to make it happen. But what you're looking at right here is just some of the concept art, and I also brought some of my own concept art if you want to share my page and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. If you want to go ahead and add a screen share, we can get you up on there.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. And also at Skits, obviously the psychotic break there for schizophrenia, as well as Skits being for the little smaller skits, like you would be like in a theater or acting stuff, is like little small skits. So you never know when Skits is actually in a dream or if it's actually reality, which is actually a really good take on that. So we feel like that's going to be a really good story for people to get their hands on. Like they're going to be turning pages like, wait, was this all a dream? Oh, wait, no, this was real. Like, no, wait, is it a dream? You know what I mean? So we love that about the aspect of the book. So
yeah, there's definitely real parts and dream parts. And the thing is, you just got to find out which is which. What we got right here, have you shared the screen?
Yeah, you're up on screen.
Nice. So this is concept art for Skits. And the whole point of doing concept art is to get people interested in your book, to show them like the very best of what you're actually going to be bringing to the table in your book. And what we got here is during the story, Skits is trying to get across this planet. And once he gets across the planet, he gets to this city. And this is the city that he actually makes it to right here. And again, this is just concept art. It's not actually as good as what's going to be in the book. So, you know, I always try and press that to people. It's like, hey, you know, this is just concept art. The actual work in the book's going to be a lot better than this, but this is the flavor of what you should expect from us. So he gets to this city, and this is just him like, wow, you know, I'm at this city. This is great. I mean, this is an amazing place right here. we got some flags flopping in the wind. Everyone keeps asking about these flags, and I can't tell you what it's about, because if I tell you that, I'll blow the story. So the flags are kind of an integral part to the whole story here. So,
well, I love this concept art is off the wall, man. Like, this is some gorgeous stuff.
Oh, I appreciate it. Appreciate it, man.
And you see, like, I mean, I'd buy this, but I'd buy just the concept art, to be honest with you. Like, no, honestly, like, have you considered doing that as like an ash can, like,
well, actually,
concept art, but behind the scenes kind of thing?
Well, I've thought about that, and I've also had people ask me if I'm going to do posters of the concept art.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So,
that'd be cool too. I would put
think
that on my
would be
wall.
Awesome. Yeah.
well, the thing is, we got to get the book out there, and we got to get people on the mailing list. The mailing list is super important. We're out here coming on shows like yours to promote this thing and to get people excited beforehand, so that when we actually go live, we'll have a big number of people back in the book. That's something that everyone told us, hey, you need to get out there, you need to promote it and get people excited beforehand. So that's what we're doing here. And so once we actually do drop it, if we get a lot of people backing it immediately, we'll actually be able to do extra stuff like that. It's like we got to be able to make a certain amount of money to actually do that sort of stuff. Maybe we can do an ash can of the concept art. Maybe we can do posters of the concept art. We're actually going to try and put some stuff out there like that on the actual campaign when we go live. But in order to do the big stuff and the really cool stuff, I mean, we really got to get a lot of support initially. So, let's try and get that first, and then we'll hit you with all the cool stuff afterwards as well.
Yeah, I mean,
welcome to the goodie room.
Yeah, we got plenty of goodies.
Yeah, because I mean, you could do. You could set up, stretch goals.
Yep.
For that kind of stuff. I honestly think that you could set up just a tier just to sell a book of the concept art. People will buy this because this is gorgeous stuff. Chris Evans in the chat, he asks, will there be original art for sale?
Yes. My process is I actually work on the computer, do all my thumbnails, and then I project that to paper. So every page will actually have pencil and ink pages. So we'll have 60 to 70 original pieces of art to sell. And
I think you're going to do fine on this campaign. with original art to sell, I think you're going to do very well.
Well, I'm an original art guy. I mean, for years, I stopped buying comics because, to be honest, there wasn't a lot out there that I was really interested in. But the thing that I did still like was the artwork, So I supported people by buying original artwork. I got a huge original artwork collection, but that's just something that I particularly really, really enjoy. It's like you got to have original art, being an artist, as it were. So again, this is another concept art piece where it's just a 30, 40-minute quick painting in the computer. But what it is it tells me a lot about a scene. It tells me about a mood. It tells me what I'm actually going to be working with for maybe 3 or 4 pages. And it's like, okay, so here's where the sun is. Here's the time of year. I got some snow in the background. It's like this type of work right here helps me complete a scene. It helps me to get things started.
That's really cool. Do you have any pages from the actual book that we can take a peek at?
No, but I do have some actual pencil pieces that is in the style of how the book is actually being made. But I am actually going to be doing those pages live coming up really soon on our channel. So if people are interested, I will be doing that stuff live on the actual channel.
Oh, really? That's really cool.
We're doing things twofold, so we don't want to give away too much stuff, being skits that we are, and being crazy, but we do want to make sure that people, drop in, because if you're part of the channel or part of on the mailing list, you'll be the first ones to say, oh my gosh, Skits is going live right now, and this is an actual page in the book. Like, you actually get to see it, so the authenticity of it. It's like, yeah, it's not just, oh, I did this behind the scenes and voila. No, it's like, oh my God, this guy is actually drawing this and this looks really good,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think including people in your process goes a long way. People really seem to enjoy that. I mean, that's kind of what CG, you know, as creators is kind of built around, you know, the chat being able to interact with you and actually see the product come together and, you know, be able to say, oh man, I seen them draw this page, you know, live. It was amazing.
Yeah.
I
And
love
that's
this
what,
page. This is my favorite page right here. I love this. I absolutely adore it.
This is badass.
yeah, this is what the original artwork will look like right here. This is just, you know, one little page with what we got here in the foreground. The way I want to do my pages is how you would actually look at a painting. It's like in the foreground, things are, you know, dark. They're you know, you don't have much atmosphere affecting what you're looking at. But as things go back, you got more atmosphere, you got more depth, and so things tend to recede and get lighter. So this is the way the actual pages will look like before I actually start coloring them. So you got dark inks in the foreground, you got dark pencils in the midground, and then you got light pencils in the background. Maybe even some washes and stuff in the background with the inks.
Wow, that's some beautiful stuff. A lot of detail in there. A lot of detail, a lot of line work.
Well, appreciate that. Appreciate it.
This is one of my favorites. I like this because he just, what is he stepping into? You know, it's something going on. So
Riot Kitty's taking notes. She's an artist herself. She's working on a book as well. We had her on a couple months back.
Nice. Yeah, so this is another page. It's just this will actually end up being in the book right here, this work. So this is just where he's traveling across this planet trying to get to that city. This is just one of his stops along his journey.
That's amazing.
Well, thanks. Yeah, this is all pencil as well. I just scan the pencil in, and then I do a little bit of adjustments, you know, with levels. And I basically got my inks.
And this was done like over how many hours? I think it was.
I might have spent like 6-7 hours on this piece. So.
Well, yeah, that's definitely. I would buy that and hang that on my wall. That is cool shit right there.
Well, I appreciate it, man. That's really kind of you.
And I can't talk to him while he's working, so mum's the word. Like.
So again, for promoting your channel, man, you got to promote your channel. You got to get people to look. You got to bring in stuff from other places. What I did is I did a series of like 3 videos, and this one I did after McFarlane for Spider-Man #1. You know, it's like I was like, man, I got to do skits in that pose because that is like an iconic cover. That's like one of my favorite pieces. And it's like, I'm going to do skits that way. So I did a series of videos. You know, I was like, hey, you know, we're doing Todd McFarlane here, blah, 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 blah. And I used to work for Todd McFarlane, so obviously I'm a fan of him. And so anyway, yeah, that's skits in Spider-Man #1 pose right there.
I mean, just the detail and just the actual the X on the
stitching.
The stitching, yeah. I mean, that to me, we actually have the straitjacket, and so when you look at it, you're just like, is this for real or is this a dream?
Wow, that's I'm liking, and that's the piece that woke me up this morning, I think.
Yes.
Well, again, this is painting and ink on paper, you know. So it's like I want people to realize that, yeah, I do a lot of computer painting, but I also do traditional work, and that'll be a part of this book where, you know, my paper stuff looks and feels just like my computer painted stuff. And that's you know, something that I think is really important, that it all melts together real nice. And also it's a sexy woman, so, you know.
Oh, I didn't notice the sexy woman part. I almost noticed it.
Well, I thought I'd tell you.
So what's with the chicken?
I'll get to that. Hold on here. That, you mean that one?
Yeah. I thought Skits was a chicken.
Oh, no. That's just a time in the actual comic where he ends up running around with some chickens. So
you gotta read the book. You gotta read the book.
The chicken is a Southern thing.
Yep.
If you've grown up in the South and your grandparents probably, if they were living out in the country, had chickens, you have been in that exact situation that you're living in. So Anybody who grew up in the South or grew up with chickens knows exactly what is happening in this particular scene because it was a daily occurrence, pretty much.
It was. And Nick, we talked about that on the show.
Yep.
It's just like these chickens just all of a sudden, there's always one too. There's always one particular one that you're like, man.
Yeah, it's always there. There is always that one that singles you out to torment you and harass you until either you run away from the chicken long enough and the chicken will get bored with chasing you, or you end the chicken's life and then eat his tasty
his tasty goods.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we never had chickens. We had goats that would always scuff up the cars because they liked climbing on them.
Well, you shouldn't park your car in the goat pen.
Goats don't like to stay in their pen.
Well, you're actually talking to someone who has a goat farm. I actually just sold a bunch of goats, but I had about 40 or 50 goats. And the secret to keeping them in the pen is lots of food.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I wish I would have known that back in the day because, man, we had this one awful billy goat. And, like, if he was on your car, that car wasn't going anywhere till he got off. Like, he got up there and he got mean. I mean, real mean. Like, you weren't even getting close to that car. That was his car.
Billy Goat's gruff. It's like, come at me, bro.
All right, well, let's go back to our video here. I'm going to stop sharing the screen. There we go.
But these are just some of the pieces that we're trying to get people interested in, of course, for the storyline. So that way they understand, like, this is work that Michael is putting into it as the illustrator, both in original form, generated form, pencils, inks, all that good stuff. And my role, the function of my role is editing the story as well as co-writing the story as well. So that, and also doing stuff with our production company, Verse Films. We have like little mini movies that we're trying to put out there. We just filmed something the other day, and we're going to be getting that out there. So if you enjoyed Skits Meets Mr. Chair on our channel, we've got another one coming out. And these are actually direct pages in the book. So we're actually doing like little mini movies that correlate to the book itself. So what you see in the movie is actually what will be in the pages. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got the video pulled up here from the one that's on the mailing list page here.
Yeah, that's our sneak peek.
All right. So we're going to wait. Before I do this, I don't want to boomer this up anymore and make sure that I've got the sound on because I actually don't think I did. So there we go. Okay, let's watch this video.
This came 5 days ago from another psychiatric hospital. Apparently he was diagnosed schizophrenic. Highly dangerous. How long can they be held?
Oh, buffer.
For another 60 hours. If he behaves like this.
He's seeing monsters. He's losing his mind and he feels it going.
You gotta love the tiny little feet like this.
Well, that was creepy.
Mm-hmm. Creepy AF.
Yeah, that was definitely creepy as fuck.
The chair video is still, I think, up there on my creepy videos because that I couldn't get that out of my head for like a week because every time I would look at a chair, I'd hear that, and that was just like, ah.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. If anyone's interested, then go out there to our YouTube channel and check that out. That's probably one of our most successful videos.
Yeah.
It's pretty
Skits
good.
Meets Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
So we've got another one, like I said, so get ready, tinfoil hat Nick. Get ready, we got another one.
Yeah, I wasn't there for the filming, but from what I hear, it went a little haywire. So.
I mean, Skits is running from the asylum, so you don't know what's going to go on next.
Yeah.
So, no, but we're really excited and we're really happy the way that things are progressing with the project, and we're We're excited to show more, but that's also a good thing that we keep things to ourselves because we want to make sure people are interested. And then once it's out, then they finally get it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I get it now.
Nick, what do we always say on CG Jumpstart?
What?
You got to sell that sizzle.
Oh, you can sell the sizzle without you can sell the sizzle without cooking all the bacon.
There you go.
There you go.
Gotta love my bacon.
Yep. I think we got plenty of visuals and videos and stuff like that to really wet people's whiskers. So, and of course
Good
we'll have
analogy.
the art. Yeah, we'll actually have the art pages though. Obviously, when the campaign launches here in the spring. So, yeah, we'll have a ton for them to look at then. And that's really when I want to blast them with it. You know, it's like I'm working on the cover right now. We're doing some page stuff, and it's like it's gonna be awesome.
And what is do you have an estimated launch date right now, or are you just the springtime sometime?
Springtime, we're looking at late March, early April, sometime around there, but obviously it's like we want to make sure everything's perfect when we launch, but that's our rough estimate.
Spring chicken.
Oh my.
I gotta give it the energy, guys.
Too much. You guys are too much. I was not expecting either of you to be this awake this morning.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I've been up since like 5:30, man. I've been ready to rock all morning.
Right on.
And thanks, James, for the email we see popping up. Thank you very much.
James Hayes is the best, man.
He's a master moderator.
I know he's fantastic. Every time I go in and I start listening to a show and I just happen to type one thing in, he'll be like, "Oh, Skips."
Yep.
Boom.
Like, Skips is here. Here's the link.
Yeah, I know he's the best, man.
Yeah, I praise James for all that he does around here and just Comicsgate. YouTube wide because he's not on Twitter, but man, he gets those links in on YouTube everywhere. So much love for you, James. Angus, are you with us?
Yeah,
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you anyway.
Okay. I had to put my phone on the charger because it's this using the StreamYards on your phone drains it. I had it at 20%.
Yeah.
I was charging it.
Yeah, StreamYards and cell phones usually they don't mix very well.
Yeah. Now I'm at 6% on the charger.
So you've got something. You got something that you are working on, and I definitely want to hear more about this. What the fuck is MethGator?
So back in June, I was doing a construction job, and I downloaded to put in my helmet to listen to. I downloaded Red Gaze's video that was new at the time about MethGators, and I listened to it. Apparently, Tennessee cops put out a social media tweet or something about don't flush your meth, you'll make MethGators. And this had a small little surge on the internet, on YouTube. I didn't follow it besides Red Gaze. But it stuck in my head, and I was thinking of that'd be a crazy superhero or hero-like comic character. But I was thinking how would I make it? And so I eventually kind of came up with TMNT, kind of similar origin, and it's just kind of built from there. And so I got MethGator that's in the works.
Nice.
So this is essentially a Florida version of the Ninja Turtles.
Georgia.
Okay.
This takes place in the Okefenokee Swamp. It's
Swamp,
because
Georgia.
I grew up with a gator documentary from Nat Geo that's in Okefenokee. So I already had a place in mind when this idea came to be.
Interesting. So what you got? What I'm still just trying to wrap my head around MethGator. So are you looking at, is this going to be a graphic novel? Who you got working on this? What's your page count going to be like?
Yeah, so it's still in its infancy in a way, just because of money and stuff. Trying to get this done. So I'm not going to have money on my own from work and stuff to throw this together as of yet for a while. So my idea working around that instead of just asking people for handouts on a GoFundMe is to I talked to a couple artists, Vic King and I don't know this guy's actual name, but Ori on Twitter. I think he's associated with like Wicked Comics. He has like anime style. So I got 2 artists doing posters for me, and once I get those finalized and stuff, I'm going to have this campaign to fund the creation of the comic. So it's like people get to invest in me making Meth Gator from the ground up.
Okay, that's interesting. Interesting way to go about it. So this mailing list, this is a pre campaign.
Yeah, it's a mailing list. The first 15 get 10% off, and might that discount or some kind of discount might linger long term for future campaigns as well as a reward for original followers. But yeah, it's like this is a campaign before like the book, because I got the plot hammered out. Now I'm just fine tuning it and writing it out. I've got a couple chapters written, but I think it'll probably be like 4 chapters as far as my writing goes, and just laying it out and then laying out the kind of panel, or the panel rough draft for the artist to go off of.
Sure, your layouts.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, like the book's a ways away because I don't have any work on the comic itself, the art done. But I'm trying to build it from the ground up, trying to do the working man angle in Comicsgate.
Okay, interesting way to go about it. A little bit different than what you see, but I'm interested to see how it goes. Let's watch this. I want to see what this video is.
Oh no! That's like an 18-minute clip of just me talking about what I'm doing.
18 minutes. It's supposed to be like 2 minutes, dude.
No. I know. I threw something up, in the meantime. That was people like if they actually want to like get in, know me. Yeah, don't play that here. That'll take forever. And I'm pretty saying the same stuff here.
Goodness gracious!
Maybe I'll get Red Gaze to make me one.
Yeah, definitely. You want something a little more concise than an 18-minute video. 2-minute pitch is where you should be at. And Gaze would be good. He does a lot of these pitch videos nowadays. It's kind of become his thing. James Hayes asked an interesting question. Do you mean the Ouroboros Moon guy?
No, it's on Twitter. It's Ari, like Auri.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the dude from Latvia, or over in the Balkans or whatever, or not Balkans, but the Baltic republics.
Okay, that dude is fucking hella talented. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
Auri. Yeah, Ari.
Yeah, I saw his. I just happened to see a Rogues Gallery Batman painting or piece he did. I'm like, dude, like anime is not my thing really, but like what he did, the colors and all that, I was like, I gotta have you. And it's taking me a while to finally pay off that poster to get this kicked off. I just got to pay off his work and then get a colors for Vic King's piece. Vic King, you see his concept art on the page.
Oh, he's the one behind the gator down here.
Yeah. He gave me a couple looks, and I liked both of them, but I kind of went off of consensus in this one chat to go off of. Yeah, the campaign and stuff, the pre-launch, that's really just to make me focus, instead of just I'm writing something. It's like, no, I'm gonna like show you for real. Got what's his name, Magus. I don't know if he's still in chat, but Magus. He did
Pharaoh Magus. The Pharaoh Magus.
Yes. He did the logo. I'm waiting for the finalized piece. We're going to do a black gator head instead of a green one, just to change it up a bit. That way it doesn't blend so well. It's something that irritates me. I don't know if other people feel that, but I just want something a little different. So, but yeah, I'm really impressed with what he did. 'Cause I didn't really give him much to limit him. I just like, hey, here's Ghost Rider. Could you give me something like this but gatory? And I'm really impressed with the logo.
Yeah, I love the logo. Love it.
So definitely, if you guys are listening, get signed up for the pre-launch campaign. So this campaign is going to be, you're going to be selling the promo posters.
Yeah, there's gonna be 3 poster options. Of course, there'll be like a 3-pack that's the best option or whatever, and that'll be all profits to go for me funding art for the actual comic, and it'll also one of the problems we've had in Comicsgate is like shipping. You generally just like projects being delayed so much. So this is something where it's like, well, I'm a new guy, and let me do like a secondary piece, if you will, to kind of hammer out any difficulty with shipping to people. That way, comics here, it's like I already got some experience shipping to people, and
so you're testing the waters in a sense.
Yeah, it's trying to do something different. Be proactive as a comic skater creator to circumvent some of these problems our forefathers have had in the movement.
Well, that's cool. Dillard in the chat says, "Hit me up, Black. I want to do a promo piece."
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. Me and Gaze are pretty buddies, and he's one of the few people I've let read what I got so far, and also the hammered out kind of plot points for the complete issue. He gives it a big thumbs up, and Wenger, after I read his chapter 1, I let him read what I got, and he also gave me a big vote of confidence. So I feel like I'm
nice.
Pretty well. It's just like I'm a slow writer, so I'm going to take my time and get it right. So, and overall for Meth Gator, I got 4 issues planned, and we'll see. Issue 4 is where I'm really going to push where I can go with it, and see what the limits are for the character.
Cool. Interesting. Well, I'm down for some Meth Gator. I want to see where this goes. This is definitely one of the most interesting projects that I've heard about so far come out of CG. I mean, I thought Skits was pretty on the skits, but Meth Gator might top that.
Definitely. Yep.
But this is cool. I love this kind of shit though. I mean, all these different projects coming from all these different people. I mean, it really shows the diverseness of CG, because everybody's doing something a little bit different, and we're seeing some things like both of you guys. I mean, this is way different than anything that we've seen before, and I love when people push boundaries and think outside the box. This is comics, I mean, that's what comics should be about. Yep. Break down the barriers, do something different, go against the norm.
Yeah, I'm a guy, I like to talk in analogies. And the analogy I give is, or comparison, if you will. Bill Clinton, he got a blowjob and he smoked pot. And so once Obama and Bush came in office, they were cokeheads. You already had, the barrier broken with Bill Clinton. So TMNT, Daredevil, they did, hey, radioactive nuclear waste, boom. Hero created. I'm just the next step, radioactive drugs.
I was wondering where the fuck you were going with that analogy.
Yeah, I was like blue dresses. I didn't know what was going on.
Well put, though, friend. Very well put. Dillard says, whoa. I ain't trying to read anything. I just want to draw a gator dude.
Hail, brother.
Oh, fuck. I love Dillard.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. This has been a fun morning, Saturday morning. God, I miss Saturday morning cartoons.
Well, thank you. I try to take the place of the Sunday or the Saturday morning cartoons. That is what the show is kind of evolved into. It's definitely not what I started out as, but it is for sure what it has evolved into is just some wacky good fun, some promo, and some great comics, and just getting to meet and talk to new people. Awesome. We do have another article here that's Mr. Aaron sent my way this morning, and it of course comes from Michigan, from where Mr. Aaron hails from. And I eat at Wendy's like often, and I don't know if I'm going to go back anymore. It says workers fired from Michigan Wendy's after video shows employee bathing in kitchen sink. And
The power soak.
No tub. Hygiene may be important, but please don't bathe in a kitchen sink, especially if that sink is in the same place where food is being prepped.
Duh.
Unfortunately, that's exactly what happened inside of a Wendy's location just east of Muskegon.
What?
All right. Several workers at this Greenville restaurant now out of a job after the video you see.
Oh my
went
God.
viral. It shows a worker in a sink full of water and soap and bubbles.
Oh.
And it says it feels like a hot tub.
No.
You then see another employee throw a rag at the shirtless man, telling him to wash himself. The video quickly took off on TikTok and eventually made its way to Facebook. It's an image leaving a bad taste in customers' mouths.
Oh, you think? Oh my God. Like, what in the...
I can write this for the news channel. Honestly, he was like, leaves a bad taste.
I just want to say, sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yes. This is crazy. I mean, this all started because of a Burger King, an incident at Burger King. I think it was like a year and a half ago or something, where employees there were caught bathing in a sink just like this on a dairy.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Now, here's the thing. If this goes to show you, like, I don't know if it's an indictment on the education system here in the United States or the hiring practices of any business out there, but when you put this stuff on the internet, it is gonna go viral. I mean, come on, this is common sense by this point in time. You can't feign ignorance or I didn't know it was going to do this or whatever. We're putting this up because you know it's going to go somewhere. This is just
common sense is not for everyone. I mean, first of all, my thing is, how does he even fit? You must be a tiny little man because how do you fit in those little sinks? But then he did it, and then the other employee actually had his worker employee outfit on, and I'm like, so y'all just stop at like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. Someone just decided to take a bath, and it's
like, is this like while? Like, is this during operating hours? Was this, before they opened? Was this after they closed? I have so many questions.
So many questions, and I don't know.
Well,
Aaron, what is wrong with Michigan people?
It ain't just Michigan. Come on,
No,
man.
that's everywhere.
I grew up. I worked in a few restaurants. I was a dishwasher, man. This type of stuff goes on all the time. You just don't.
I'm sorry. I worked in multiple restaurants, and never did we do anything even close to this.
Well, this is like that girl that got caught.
Well, you didn't have any fun then, did you?
I mean,
that movie Waiting is actually extremely accurate.
Yeah, that
in
movie
most
is pretty
cases.
accurate.
But it's still, there wasn't a like when I worked in restaurants, I never had the want and or need to take a bath in the dishwashing sink because I knew what went in the dishwashing sink.
Exactly.
And it's forever unclean.
Exactly.
There's not enough sanitizer. There's not enough bleach. There's not enough anything that you could pour into that nasty thing.
You need
ever
to
make me
rebuild
want
it just to have a brand new one.
No, you need to burn it down and just start over. Because
this is like that girl who licked that ice cream and put it back. That went viral. I mean, the first
that was
thing,
like a whole thing. The licking things, like I don't understand.
Upgrade. But that was an upgrade. It's like, oh, look at me, I'm in a bath, or I'm doing something like putting, my sandwiches on top of like trash bins, before I hand it out to, the customers. That's one thing. But to actually go into the store, lick something, and then put it back, that was like a whole nother level. Because it's unsuspecting,
It's like that celebrity that walked into I think it was a bagel shop or a donut shop and just went through and licked the merchandise, and then she got
Ariana Grande.
and then she got mad when she got kicked out of the place for licking the food and not paying for it. I mean, this is common sense. People.
You lick it, you bought it. I'm sorry.
Exactly. It's hold on. I saw something. Sarah says I've never seen that going on in the kitchens that I've worked at. That's because it doesn't usually happen that way.
No, that's because she was a woman working there. When you got a bunch of guys, idiot guys at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, that's when the problems happen.
I'm sorry. The worst we ever did was like get high in the freezer, and we when I worked at Subway, my coworker used to sit behind the wall, like towards the back, and shoot me with an airsoft gun as I was prepping sandwiches. That's probably the worst that I've ever done or encountered in my years of working in restaurants.
Now, have you ever gone into a restaurant and been like, I went to high school with that kid. There is no way I'm eating in this place. And you just walk out. I've done that. I don't know how many times. It's like, oh my Lord, I'm out the door. See ya. Because you know what that person does.
Yep. Yeah, and you've already bought that. You've already bought that T-shirt at some point in time in your life, so that's how you know. So you just automatically you just look in. Like that's one of the first things whenever I go home and I go into or go to the home being the city where I grew up and everything. When I go back and I go into a restaurant, I immediately start looking at waiters, waitresses, and kitchen staff. If I recognize any of them, I'm out the door. That is a rule of thumb that I live by because some of the people that I went to high school with, they are dastardly and devious, and
that's a good word, dastardly and devious. Thank you, Dave. That's a good one.
You're welcome. Like I can see them with the handlebar mustache, pulling it off and cackling evil while they do it, and. I've done it several times. I am a big believer in never piss off the people who handle your food. Mm-hmm. And if you have at some point in time in your life, it's just better to leave the situation alone.
Just back away. Yeah. Back away.
Yep.
Very fewer truer words have been spoken.
Yes.
Do not fuck with the people who make your food.
No.
Because they can get you so worse than than your words or whatever could do. No. Absolutely not. So thank you for that, Aaron. I appreciate that. We're coming up on our 2-hour mark, so I think that's a good place to go ahead and we'll wrap it up for this week. I appreciate you guys all coming on, as always. Make sure everybody in the chat, you share it out. Make sure you share out the links for Cybershock and Skits and Methgator. Methgator. I just saying it. I feel weird. But definitely back Cybershock. Like I said, it is super affordable, super awesome, beautiful looking book. Aaron's got he's got many, many more projects just waiting. And we're going to see big, big things come from him. Angus, you're back just in time for us to all sign off. Make sure you're subscribed to everyone's channel as well. To Skits' channel, to Nick for Sunday Conversations. Black Angus does a lot of great videos as well. Make sure you are subbed to his channel. I also opened up an Arch City merch store. If you want an Arch City t-shirt or a coffee mug, you can get that now from Teespring. The link is in the description. I'm not really pushing it because I don't really care. I had a couple people ask me, they were like, I want a t-shirt or I want a coffee mug. So I literally made some t-shirts and some coffee mugs. So check it out if you want to. We will be back this Tuesday for CG Jumpstart Between the Panels. I promise you we missed last week because all of our guests kind of fell through, but we have got somebody already lined up. So we are definitely going to do the show. Vestige is getting ready to ship any day now. So as soon as that ships, CG Jumpstart's going to launch and the party will commence.
Nice.
Anything else from you guys?
Get on the mailing list.
Your merch say I'm rubbing it.
You need what's that, Angus?
I was just curious if your merch says I'm rubbing it.
It doesn't, but it can.
Ooh.
Or you
that should definitely be an alternate.
Rub the mug.
The mug is actually a Weekend Woke Up mug.
Yeah, come to Skits. We got some good stuff on. Come get some. I'll be doing some reviews on some indie comics coming up soon that were sent to me. Read them, reviewed them. We just did one Valentine special yesterday. It was just a quick, fun one about some of the TV shows out, like The Witcher, October Faction, Dark, and Star Trek Picard, and some music, stuff like that. So check that out and come get some. And then we'll do live. So if Aaron wants to come on and come get some live, we could definitely have him come get some live.
Awesome. Thanks, man.
That sounds enticing. I don't know how you could pass that up.
And get on the Indiegogo mailing list. You know, the mailing list is so important for all creators. Everyone needs to have a mailing list, and make sure that you get on them, and make sure you get on ours especially.
Yeah, there's not. I mean, I say this all the time. Like, there's literally nothing stopping you from getting on a mailing list, except for maybe a little spam. And most people don't spam with their mailing lists. Everybody's really good about them. So sign up. There's nothing to lose and everything to gain.
Yep.
Exactly.
Once again, panel, thank you guys all for joining me this morning on this very early Saturday morning. Hail to the chat. I love you all, and have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Later.
Peace.
Bye.